turn our attention now to Friday. We've got South Florida and Tulsa as we stay in the AAC here. Tulsa 13-point home favorites, 59 being the total in this game. I took a shot with South Florida against SMU last week with the coaching change, and man, was that frustrating because they had a great first half, and I should have probably split it up. It's easy to say it, hindsight's 2020, but I probably should have split it up first half and full game because they were right there with SMU at halftime, and then they just fell apart in the second half. And then they get a touchdown in the final minute, make it 41-23, and I have plus 17.5.
They go for two. Florida. I know.
Go for two and don't get it. And that was it. That was the end of it. And that's why South Florida didn't get. That being said, I'd be tempted to come back to South Florida, but this time here, I would look at first half full game split. I'm not falling for that again. I mean, I'm not risking this team coming out strong and then shitting the bed again in the second half like they did against SMU. So I do lean a little bit to South Florida again here. I thought their effort was commendable. I mean, the quarterback play is weak without Jerry Bohannon. Let's be honest. I mean, Travis Marsh, 12 of 31. I mean, really not good. Their offense was pretty much Brian Batty running the football, 145 rushing yards. That was it. But, you know, you look at the Tulsa defense, they are awful against the run. Just absolutely terrible. 212 rushing yards per game allowed, 123 in the country with run defense. That's their ranking. That's not good at all. And that's the strength of South Florida. South Florida's offense is the run. They can't throw a lick right now with these quarterbacks that are playing for them, but they can run the football, and Tulsa can't stop the run. So that's why I think South Florida can hang. I'd probably do a first half full game split. What do you get from the Tulsa offense? Because Tulane, they didn't move the ball in that game. They got Davis Brin back against Memphis, and I was stunned how poorly he played. Absolutely terrible. And then Braxton takes over for Brin, and it isn't much better. So let's see if Brin's going to play. Let's see if they go with Braxton. There's questions about who's going to play quarterback for Tulsa here in this game. I still like South Florida. I'll take a shot with them again, even though they fell short against SMU. With the first half full game split probably being the route I will take with backing the Bulls here. But they did show a pulse. They did show some effort. They did show some sparks, some energy, some spirit. First game after Jeff Scott got fired, which is what you want to see in these teams after a coaching change. Do they respond? Is there life in their effort on the football field? And we saw it at least for South Florida last week, even though they're still not a good football team. What do you think here, Conor?
Yeah, a 2-point conversion. I'm still thinking about it as well. You mentioned books have this, I think, line pretty sharp here, just under 2 touchdowns. I wanted over 2 touchdowns to think of South Florida. They just got to run it, like you mentioned. Tulsa's bad. Just keep running it, and I think that could keep in the game. You mentioned Bren wasn't good. Is he going to start here? And the total, was there enough running? You know, if there's enough big plays, this will get over. But obviously, that'll, you know, running it kills the clock. So I want to take the over because South Florida games still usually can get there mid-50s all the way, you know, into the 60s. So I lean over, but I'm going to look into the total a little bit more.